This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Hey, what's going on? Hopefully you're tuning in because we're on video. You see my fat face on video, you gotta love it. You're also on audio, right? Podcast isn't gonna change that much. You're gonna get the audio, you're gonna get the video. And yeah, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. I've teased it. I know I'm a guy that says a lot on the podcast, and sometimes I don't do it because life happens. I'm a busy guy. But this is something, got a new program, working out the kinks, trying to add some stuff, trying to get on the YouTube platform. My wife's like, hey, I got shit flying around me. She's like, hey, you got to build your brand on more than one platform. You know, I'm heavy on Twitter. I love Twitter. Do YouTube. Do IG. But, you know, so we're trying to here pick them for UFC, Fight Night, something. Untitled Zombie, I don't know the numbers. June 19th, this Saturday. Let's go. I got my Reds on. Shout out Reds. Cincinnati Reds are hot right now. They're hot right now. Just like I'm about to be hot for this card. I feel like I got some winners here. Card top to bottom. There's some interesting fights. There's fighters that have been off for a while. There's fighters that have had weight issues. There's fighters that, you know, some people don't even know about. But I think since I've dove into the nooks and crannies of it, I do think there's some real potential here for some motherfucking fireworks. Motherfucking fireworks is what I anticipate. So without further ado, again, I'm gabbing. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, listen to this man at work. Look what my daughter did. But no, we're getting into the fights. We're serious here. And look how serious we are. Boom. I got graphics. I got motherfucking graphics. They're not great. Okay. So if you're watching this video wise, MMA Takes Podcast on YouTube, I made these in Keynote on my Mac. Okay. They're not fantastic. I'm going to get better. Okay. Cut me some slack. I'm giving you some visuals. I'm going to get it better. Okay, so here we go. I haven't been practicing any of these names. There's a name up here I'm terrified to say. We'll get to it when I get to it. But Laura Procopio. She's a minus 155 favorite versus Casey O'Neill, plus 125 underdog. Listen, Casey O'Neill impressed me in her UFC debut. I know it was against Shayna Dobson. Guys, I know. Stop me. Don't comment. I know. Shayna Dobson. Procopio is 1-1 in the UFC against Carol Rosa and Molly McCann. Molly McCann's a good win. She lost to Carol Rosa, who sometimes is that bitch. You know what I mean? Not a bad loss. She's 1-1. Solid prospect. Casey O'Neill impressed me, though. So she's Scottish that moved to Australia and now training in Vegas. So I think she's doing the right things. She's definitely doing the right things the way she looks. Hey, if I had a drum thing, that would be fucking perfect. Got to get that. No, Casey O'Neill is definitely easy on the ice, but she's also a very, very talented fighter. So is Procopio. This is going to be a fight that's going to be decided by the judges. So whatever that prop is, put everything on it. This is going over whatever rounds they set it at, probably 2.5. This is going over that. This is going to be a judge's decision. I see this being a back and forth fight. Who's going to control the grappling? Casey O'Neill, I just think is just that a little bit tougher and a little bit more aggressive. And I'm going Casey O'Neill. I'm going dog hunting right away, baby. Dog hunting right away. Dogs are barking for me. And yeah, Casey O'Neill is my pick. Plus 125 underdog. Kick the night off with an underdog. My confidence level is maybe 6 out of 10. You never know what you're going to get with judges. You never know what you're going to get with a female fight. I do think this fight is going to be very close. So, plus 125 on a close fight. This is a value pick. I think both these women match up pretty well. We haven't seen enough. Casey O'Neill's undefeated, but she hasn't fought a ton of competition. Laura Procopio is only 7-1. She only has 8 fights. These are very young women in their early career, so anything can happen. But if you're going to give me plus 125 over a girl who on a UFC debut finished a veteran, I'm going to take it. And I know it was Shayna Dobson. Get off the dick. I know. Let's move on. Next fight, Joaquim Silva versus Rick Glenn. Ricky Glenn is what they have on Tapology. Did he change his name to Rick to Ricky? Because I got to tell you, I'm in favor of it. If your name's Tommy or Tom, I'm calling you Tommy. If your name's Bill, I'm calling you Billy. I'm adding Y's to your fucking name. That's just what I do. Although I don't call Timmy. I call him Timbo. but you can't really go Bilbo, right? So Timbo has that unique word where you can add a bow to it and it looks fucking fire. Anyway, this fight is fucking a banger. Secret banger no one's talking about. Joaquim Silva built like a shit brick house. Dude's ripped up. Had a really good fight against Nasrat Haqparast his last time out. Got caught. It's okay. Got knocked out, but he gave hell in that first round. Before that, he beat Jarrett Gordon back in 2018. He's been off for a little bit, right? We haven't seen this guy too much. Don't know. Some people might know. I don't know. Is it steroids? Is it you're too good looking? You got to get tattoos? Don't know. But he has fought some good guys. Has some good wins over grapplers, over strikers. Knocking out Jarrett Gordon's no slouch. And then you got Ricky Glenn. Okay, I'm going to go Ricky Glenn. This is a guy I was high on. I saw him in the World Series of Fighting. I was like, wow, this tall, rangy bastard's pretty fucking good on his feet. I think he was a Duke Rufus guy at the time. Not currently sure where he is at now. And has had some really good little victories in UFC. Very inconsistent, which is a word I'm probably going to be saying a lot tonight. He was a little inconsistent in his in most of his fights in the UFC, but he does have a dominating win over Gavin Tucker, who is at the top of the heap. His last loss comes from Kevin Aguilar back in 2018. We haven't seen this motherfucker in motherfucking 3 years, and he was supposed to come back in 2020 against Carlton Minus. And now you're getting Joaquim Silva? Hoosh. Ooh. Ooh. Tough. That's a tough draw. Lines are 118 Silva minus 118 Silva minus 106 Ricky Glenn. It's right there as a pick 'em. I'm actually a little surprised by this line. I realize both guys aren't setting the world on fire currently in the MMA world. They've been out for a little bit, but Silva, I think he just has that next level striking. I think he can mix it up a little bit better. I think Rick Glenn, the time off might be good for him, but when you got two strikers with the time off, timing is going to be off. And Rick Glenn is not a power puncher. He's definitely more of a combination puncher. Gets better as the fight goes. He's not going to put you out one punch. I think Silva can put you out one punch, one kick, one whatever. I'm going Silva here. This is a fight I like. I like betting pick'em fights. I'm a fucking crazy son of a bitch. I'm crazy. I like picking pick'em fights because I like being right. People like to run away. There's no value. There's no value on that. We've been picking. Yeah, you're right. And they're right. But I have an ego to fill. So if you're picking a fight with no value, I'm going to put a uni on them so I can be right to feed this ego. Is it right? No, it's wrong. It's the wrong way to do it. Do the opposite of what I'm doing. But I do like Silva in this fight. I think it's a very interesting fight. Both guys have been off for a little bit. I'm curious to see what shows up, who shows up, how they show up, and who shows out. That's the biggest question there. All right, next up you got Josh Parisian versus Rogue Martinez. Parisian is a minus 132 favorite. Rogue Martinez plus 107. These fucking lady killers, man. These two beautiful, beautiful sons of bitches. Listen, this fight, I don't love it on paper. Again, heavyweight fights, low-level heavyweight fights. There's a lot to be left desired. Josh Parisian was on The Ultimate Fighter. I think he was on twice. Finally got a contract. Made his UFC debut against Parker Porter, which is the best name for a steakhouse anywhere. And this guy's a fighter. When he retires, just open a steakhouse, dude. I got it for you. But go get the LLC. I mean, we're here. I guess Rogue Martinez, who, undersized, height-wise, very heavy-set gentleman, has a head like a fucking brick wall. And I just think he's just not going to be able to really match up well with a guy like Parisian. He's a little bit taller. He's going to dance around a little bit. I'm not super excited for this fight. I see Rogue Martinez coming on at the end, just being a tough as nails dude. But I'm going to go Parisian here. It's a fight I'm not looking forward to, okay? I'm probably not going to bet it. Probably going to stay away from it. Both middling heavyweights. This is what my guy Christian has struck gold on. He loves betting these fights. Not me. They scare me away with these fucking heavyweights. These guys got big hands. And they swing big. I don't want any part of that. I don't want any part of it. All right. Next up, Matt Semelsberger plus 140 versus Chaos Williams minus 177. Great matchmaking. Shout out the matchmakers because I love this fight. Matt Semelsberger is a guy come from Maryland, Frederick, Maryland. Shout out Frederick, Maryland. Undefeated in the UFC. He only has 2 losses outside the UFC that are, a a little bit of a go, and I think it was before he really started training. Made his UFC debut against Carl Minus, and then knocked out Jason Witt in like 15 seconds in his second fight in the UFC. So the Minus fight gave me a little pause. I was on Jason Witt as an underdog last time Semelsberger fought. I thought he could out-wrestle Semelsberger. Semelsberger took some time off. He's not leaving Frederick, Maryland. I think he's probably going down to where Sadiq Yusuf trains at, Lloyd Irvin, possibly. That's the only other camp I know in Maryland. If not, he's staying at a small gym, and he's going against Chaos Williams, who last time out lost to Michelle Pereira. Before that was just knocking everyone dead. Was undefeated before, or excuse me, was not. He had one loss before the Michelle Pereira fight, and just really couldn't get it going. Michelle Pereira is a unique guy, has a unique style to him, and it's just hard to kind of catch up with him and hard to get a timing on and get a beat on him. Chaos Williams is not the most technical striker in the world. He's very plodding, very pushy forward, has some good kicks, has some good skills. The thing that separates him above anybody is his fucking power. His power is absolutely devastating. Semelsberger, though, I feel like is a good size for this weight class, and he just could be a fucking bully in there, man. He knows that he has to watch out. I think he's a thoughtful fighter. I think he's a thinking fighter. I think he's just not going to go in there and swing, slang, and bang. And the 15-second knockout he got last time isn't going to get into his head like, well, I can do that to anybody. You got to be careful going against a guy like Chaos Williams. I know Chaos Williams wants to get that Pereira loss back. You know, he hit Pereira some big shots and just really didn't perform like we all thought he would. But he showed a little bit of cardio. He showed he went 3 rounds. I think that was a learning experience for a guy who was knocking people dead, but still needs to clean some stuff up. He definitely isn't a perfect fighter. This is a perfect matchup. 2 young studs right here coming up. What are we going to get? I'm going to go dog, though. I'm going to go dog, and I'm going to go Semelsberger. Plus 140 is just a great value play. I think he is better kind of everywhere than Chaos. I think Chaos has the power, and I think that's about it. I think Semelsberger is good in the clinch, can get the fight to the ground. I don't think he's lights out on the ground, but he can make this fight ugly, really wear on Williams here. We haven't really seen Williams grappling on that much. Let's see him really get tested here. Let's see him get pushed. I think Semelsberger has a motor, and he does obviously have power. He has power. He has good striking. He's just got to be mindful of not getting too confident in there with Williams, because Williams will put your fucking lights out, take your head off. So you got to be careful against Chaos Williams. But I like the dog, plus 140. Give me the dog. Give me the motherfucker. And this is a fight I'm going to play too. I like this line. Semelsberger, again, this is a good matchup. I know a lot of people are fading Chaos Williams. This is probably going to be a popular underdog pick is my prediction because of his loss, and he was coming off some big knockouts, had a lot of hype. That doesn't really scare me away because he fought a really solid dude. But I'm just going based on value and matchmaking. I think this is a good matchmaking fight, and I think this is a good spot for Semelsberger here. So let's move on to Vima Jandiroba versus Kanato Murata. I really like this fight. So you have jiu-jitsu versus wrestling. Murata made a UFC debut and just absolutely dominated. Stud wrestler. Vima's last fight was against Mackenzie Dern, where, you know, Vima is an incredible grappler herself, jiu-jitsu black belt, I'm sure, over and over again, jiu-jitsu champion. And Mackenzie Dern just kind of shut her down and did what she wanted. This fight's going to be interesting because Murata wants to get the fight to the ground. And that's what Jandiroba wanted. So when you get grappler versus grappler, you could get a stalemate on the feet. So who's going to win on the feet, right? Both similar size. They're both, I think, a little undersized for 115, but they are both the similar size. So it's not going to be too much of a size advantage for either one of these fighters. But listen, you know, it's tough. You know, I respect the Brazilians. I respect jiu-jitsu, but I respect wrestling more. I think wrestling wins. I'm going dog again. Murata, I think, is just going to be out-positioning Jandiroba. I think there's a difference between competition jiu-jitsu and MMA jiu-jitsu. I think Murata's wrestling is going to keep her out of some things that Jandiroba could maybe get her in a grappling competition. We got 5-minute rounds. This is MMA. This isn't grappling. This isn't, ADCs or whatever. This is going to be fucking wrestling versus jiu-jitsu. They're going to cancel on the feet, but I think Murata, when she wants to, she can get this fight to the ground, and I think she'll be okay there. I'm liking this fight. I'm liking this matchup. Plus 125. This was so close to being my dog in the night. You have no fucking idea. So close to being my dog in the night. I passed on it, though. I went with another one. We'll get to that. But I like this fight a lot for Murata, and she impressed me in her debut. Her wrestling is top notch wrestling. All right, next up. Okay, so this is a name I didn't want to pronounce. Alexis Kamur, right? Ohio boy, minus 265, looks exactly like Jason Biggs from American Pie. No one's going to tell me otherwise. They have the same exact fucking hair. He's a minus 265 favorite, big favorite. He is fighting Nick Nugumarineno. I said that so slow. Let me try it again. Nikolai, they have him Nick here. He's trying to go American, right? Nikolai Nugumarineno. I'm not even close. Man, this fight, he's plus 200, by the way. This fight's tough because Nikolai fought that dirty fucking and I'm not saying like he probably does smell, but that dirty Russian Sarabag Safarov in his UFC debut, lost a decision, but got cheated pretty much the whole way. This guy wants to get the fight to the floor, wants to submit you. And I think he's very one-dimensional. Alexis Kamur coming off the Contender Series with a nice knockout over Fabio Charant, and then, finished up with a win over Justin Ledet, and then just got absolutely fucking dominated by William Knight. A lot of people are picking Nikolai here because Nikolai wants to get the fight to the floor, and Kamur fucking struggled when William Knight was on top of him. Could not get up, got the shit kicked out of him. He thinks if Nikolai... Cappers, I respect. They think if Nikolai takes him to the ground, it's lights out. It's wrap. I'd fucking wrap it. I can agree with that, right? We're talking about value here. We're talking about, you try to make money, right? We're trying to cash tickets. Plus 200 is so juicy. You stare at it. You want to pick it. However, when I look at tape of Nikolai, I just think he's so one-dimensional. William Knight had a little more... Like, he's a little more round. He's a ball of muscle, right? He can knock you out if he wants to, and he can take you down if he wants to. Kamur gassed bad in that fight. I got to imagine he learned from that, right? And I'm going to go Kamur. Yeah, I'm taking, and this is a fight I'm staying away from, though. I'm not betting Kamur at minus 265. I'm not that confident. This was a fight that was really hard for me to pick. I dove into this fight, and the more I dove in, the more I was back and forth on it because Nikolai can easily take the fight to the ground and possibly get a submission or grind him out. That's his game. But Kamur just got embarrassed his last time out. I trust his team. I think he's going to come out and look to put heavy hands on Nikolai and avoid the ground. And if he didn't learn his lesson from the William Knight fight, then he fucking deserves to lose and possibly get cut from the UFC. I'm not saying he will, but you got to come out and you got to show out. This is for your motherfucking job here, dude. So I'm going to go Alexis Kamur. It's a no bet for me, though. It's dog or pass. Shout out Dog or Pass podcast. It's dog or pass for me, and I just don't trust Nikolai. I'm not going to take that 200, even though I know I got some guys listening that are gambling men that put their fucking nuts on the table, and they're willing to take that 200, and I have no problem with that. My pick is Alexis Kamur. All right, next up, Diego Lima versus Matt, the Immortal Brown. Diego Lima, minus 177, Matt Brown, plus 140. Another fight that was really tough for me to pick. So Matt Brown, is he retired? Is he not retired? Is it? Is this, what are we doing here, right? We back and forth. The Immortal one, the Ohio one, Matt Brown, he's from, where's he from? I think he fights out of Columbus, but he's from, I think, it says he's fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio. He hasn't fought out of Cincinnati, Ohio, like, ever. I don't know why I keep saying that. Xenia, Ohio. That's right. Xenia, Ohio. A bunch of trash up there. Anyways, coming off 2 losses, right? So he got knocked out by Miguel Baeza, and he lost a decision to Carlos Condit in a fun fight. This guy's been up and down in his career, moved out to Colorado, went back to Ohio, didn't want to fight, wants to fight, a guy, and he's older. I think he's 40 something. So a guy like that, you got to put a big question mark on. But then enter Diego Lima, a guy who fought Bilal Muhammad and looked pretty good. His takedown offense was lights out in that fight. And this is a guy who's he's been on The Ultimate Fighter twice and went to the finals twice or something. Like, this guy, you can't get rid of him. And his brother just fought, Douglas Lima, who was, is the better Lima brother. He looked like complete dog shit in his fight. Maybe Diego, the one thing Diego maybe should teach his brother is some takedown defense. This fight put me in a pretzel a little bit because I want to go chalk and I want to go Diego Lima, but Diego Lima's got a little bit of a chin issue. And the one thing Matt Brown has in his arsenal is he's got that power. He's got good elbows in the clinch, and he's got fucking hands for 3 rounds. And Diego Lima slowed down big time against Belal Muhammad, got pieced up by Belal Muhammad. Belal Muhammad is better boxing than Matt Brown, no doubt about it. Matt Brown has better power. But Diego slowed down and got hit a lot in that fight. I can see Diego clipping him, taking him down and submitting him. I can totally see that. That's a prop maybe we'll talk about on Friday, with whatever that prop is. But for right now, I mean, how can I go against the Immortal One? And baby,
send him home.
Send him home
early.
So I send him home on the night. Matt Brown, I think, is going to catch Diego Lima early and put him out. Diego Lima's chin has been tested before, has failed several tests. And Matt Brown, as old and hairy as that son of a bitch is, he has power. And he's going to fucking put Diego out. And yeah, this is a fight. Again, plus 140, another underdog. I like him as a send it home here. I think this is a prop play fight. That's hard to say. My headphones just got unplugged. Great. You know, I should edit that out because I'm doing video and I look like an idiot. But you know, I'm keeping it in. Okay, this is real here. This is real shit. No, Matt Brown again. I think he's gonna. I lost my train of thought because the fucking headphones came out. Come on, man, get it together. All right, next fight you got Wellington Turman plus 125 versus Bruno Silva minus 155. This is interesting to me because Silva hasn't fought in a long time. Got a couple knockouts on his record, and I believe it was a USADA thing, or he tested before, or what happened. Don't know exactly what happened, but he hasn't fought in a long time. Wellington Turman is a guy who I used to be kind of high on. You know, a Brazilian guy named Wellington Turman. I think that's pretty fucking cool. But he's really failed me lately. He's a grappler. You know, he got knocked out his last time out. He likes to get to the fight to the ground. He's not a finisher by any means. And but he's just like a grimy, like weigh on you type of dude. He's got to fix the cardio issues. He just has to. And Bruno Silva, coming off a long layoff, he's excited to fight. What's his cardio like? There's a lot of question marks about this fight. Bruno Silva, big, heavy-handed guy, but again, was it because he was on steroids? Was it because of the shit he was taking? Like, what is it? Wellington Turman, saw a picture of him recently, bearded up, and he's always looking in incredible shape, you know, but he's coming off a knockout to Andrew Sanchez, which is very embarrassing because Andrew Sanchez doesn't knock anybody out. Before that, he beat Marcus Perez, and then he has a split decision loss over Carl Robertson. The Robertson fight's not a good look either because, you know, it's not a high level guy. Bruno Silva, by the way, this picture you see here, I mean, there's 2 Bruno Silvas in the UFC. I mean, this is the only picture I could find of him, right? The other one's the 125er. I can give this guy some love here too. But you know, that's right. He never made his UFC debut. He got busted when he got signed. He was in the M1 challenge, knocking everyone out. Knocked out Alexander Shemenko, which is actually a pretty big feather in your cap. Shemenko has had 67 fights. He's only been knocked out once or twice. That is a big feather in your cap there. And then Artem Frolov. I thought that was Artem Lobov. And I said, whoa, this dude knocked out Lobov? Artem the GOAT? Yeah, no, there is another Artem. But got busted for USADA before he came to the UFC. Hasn't fought since November 2018. Man, this fight, this is probably one of my more shakier picks on the podcast. I'm gonna be real with you. You're gonna watch cappers. If the first time you're listening to me or watching me, you're gonna hear guys going, you know, you pay for their picks and you do this, you do that. All I'm asking you to subscribe. All I'm asking you to do is to fucking rate and review. You don't gotta pay me shit. But I'm gonna tell you the real, and this is a fight I don't have a good read on because Bruno Silva's been out for so long, and I just don't know what that means. He's gonna come out hot, and Wellington Turman did not like when Andrew Sanchez come out hot. So you would think that my pick is Bruno Silva, but in actuality, it's Wellington Turman, baby. I can't give up on the guy. I saw something in this guy many fights ago, right, when I was researching him. I saw something in him, and I feel like there's something there. There's a grittiness. There's a toughness. I think he's good on the ground. He's big. He's strong. If he can get this fight to the ground, I think he could win this fight. He just has to straighten up that cardio. This isn't a muscle contest. This isn't, he's shredded to shit. Get some good cardio, and then we're talking. But, yeah, this is a shaky pick. When I give out picks, I keep my picks. I don't backtrack because I'm giving you these picks. But this is the one that I'm a little shaky on, right? And again, I don't know if I rushed through it or not. There's just too many question marks about Bruno Silva. in my opinion. Making his UFC debut, 3-year layoff, steroids. How is this all impacting him? You know what I mean? Scares me a little bit. Wellington Turman can make it a rough night. You know, he had 2 really close fights in the UFC, split decision loss, a unanimous decision win, and then he got knocked out. So he can make this fight ugly and take it to the judges, and we'll see. We'll see. I just don't love it. All right, next up, Julian Erosa, plus 115 versus Sung Woo Choi. I think I fucking nailed that. Minus 143. So this fight's very interesting because Sung Woo Choi is a guy who kind of slipped in between my radar. Like, I remember him, and then I forget him. I remember the Yusuf Salah fight. I remember the Sumo McIntyre fight, but I really remember the Gavin Tucker fight. It was a very, very close fight. Gavin Tucker took over in that 3rd round. Tall, lankier striker. Enter Julian Erosa, who's basically the same thing. They're built the same. They like to strike. Julian Erosa is way more creative. He's awkward. He comes from different angles. Sung Woo Choi is very technical. So it's a mix of styles. Similar body types, mix of styles. Julian Erosa is one of those guys. So he's on the Ultimate Fighter, right? Got an Ultimate Fighter. Got knocked out, I think, in the finale or something, or maybe got a shot in the UFC. And then went away from the UFC, wins, gets brought on the Contender Series, loses, goes away in the UFC again. They bring him in on a short notice fight against Sean Woodson. Huge underdog, wins, knocks out Nate the Train. Now he's in the UFC. Now he's a slight dog where he's a dog in all those fights. There's somebody in the UFC who sees talent in this guy. I see talent in him. I like his style. His chin's been an issue in the past where he gets caught up in a brawl and he's been put down before, he's been knocked out before. His cardio's kind of fed him in the past. His takedown defense isn't super world class, but I think he's working on those things, and I just like him being so fucking awkward, right? Sung Woo Choi is going to come out. He's going to do his basic shit. Decent kicks, decent hands. Everything's going to be right. Julian Erosa is going to come out and kind of be a little funky, style on him a little bit. And I like that shit. Whoever keeps signing Julian Erosa must be in my brain because he's seeing talent and I'm seeing the same talent. And, I mean, we're here for one thing and one thing only, and that's dogs, baby.
Be a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
Be a dog. This is my underdog lock of the night. Julian Erosa plus 115. I think you get incredible value on your money here. Sung Woo Choi, again, this is going to be a case of if it gets to the 3rd round, who has the better cardio? I've seen both guys slow down. Julian Erosa has a lot more fights than he does and has fought better competition. I don't think Sung Woo Choi really has anything for Erosa besides the fact that if Erosa gets lazy. If he gets lazy, and again, he doesn't have the best chin in the world. If he gets caught, gets lazy, it could be a problem. Woo Choi can come out and just be like, you know what? I got wrestled my last couple fights. I'm going to come out. I'm going to be a wrestler. I've been submitted before by Gavin Tucker. That's what I'm working on. I'm going to come out, and this guy's the same exact fucking size as me. I'm going to come out and I'm going to wrestle him. That it could potentially happen. I hope it doesn't, okay? I hope it doesn't because what I want to happen is I want Julian Erosa to knock him out. I like that prop as well. Julian Erosa by finish, plus 115. Underdog lock of the night. You know I'm betting it. You know I'm rocking with it. I won my dog week last week. Lauren Murphy squeaked by, but I got it. But yeah, I like Julian Erosa here. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a close fight. It's gonna be a good fight. I'm looking forward to a lot in this card. All right, Marlon Vera versus Davy Grant. Marlon Vera is a minus 230 favorite. Davy Grant's plus 180. This is a rematch. They fought many, many moons ago, and I basically put my reputation on the line the last time Davy Grant fought. I had Jonathan Martinez. Jonathan Martinez was my mortal lock of all mortal locks. I said it was a reputation fight. I said there's going to be repercussions if Jonathan Martinez did not lose. I lost a ton of money, right? I believed it. I don't know what the punishment's going to be yet. I don't quite know. I have slept on Davy Grant, and he's on a nice little run here, and I have slept on him for his entire career, and I don't think things are going to change. He's got power, right? He's got heart. He's got a good chin, and, you know, he's good on the ground as well. That's what people, including myself, forget is he's more of a jiu-jitsu guy. That's what he came into the sport as, and now he's got this awkward striking style that he's catching people and knocking them out. Enter Marlon Vera, who I've never been blown away by. When he fought my guy Sugar Sean, I thought Sugar Sean was going to walk through him because Marlon backs up most of the time. Backs up, non-aggressive, always in a super fucking close fight. usually loses a split decision or wins a decision. That's just his style. I mean, look at the Otto fight. Look at the Song Yong-dong fight. And then he went after O'Malley. Perillo's his head coach. He's fighting out of California. Perillo's got to tell this guy, you got to get after David Grant. David Grant is hittable. David Grant cannot walk Vera down. I think Vera, takedown defense is a little bit questionable. I don't think he's all that great off the ground, off his back. I mean, David Grant might be wanting to look for that. But, I don't know. I don't love the number on this fight. Name another podcaster that sneezes on his fucking podcast. God damn. The one time I do video, I yank my headphones out of my ear. I fucking sneeze. Jeez, Brian, get it together. But Davey Grant, more than Vera, I don't like the line. Minus 230 is a little steep for me. I'm not sold on Vera yet. I thought he looked good in the O'Malley fight because he came forward. He was aggressive. They had a little heat on that fight. And both these guys are very confident. I saw some interviews. They did some press earlier this week, and both guys are very, very fucking confident in their skills on who's going to win this fight. I think it's going to be Marlon Vera. I'm going to go chalk here. I just think he's a better fighter. But again, if there's one fight to fade me on, it's this one. Because I have not got a Davey Grant fight right, I think, ever. So I think every time I pick against Davey Grant, he wins. So I'm doing you a service to telling you that so you can go place some wagers on Grant, because I think I'm his fucking kryptonite, or he's my kryptonite. I can't get this fucker right. So do what you will, but my official pick is Marlon Vera, even though I hate the line. All right, next up. God, I hate this fucking fight. Plus 175, Alexei Oleinik versus Sergey Spivak, minus 225. Why is this the co-main event? I mean, they're like, Marlon Vera could have been co-main event. Julian Rosa could have been co-main event. Kenitu Murata, I know she just made a debut. Semelsberger, Williams is an interesting fight. There's a lot of people that could have been co-main event, but they put this fucking thing on. I don't like either guy, right? Alexei Oleinik's like 45 years old. I know people love him. He's got incredible power. He's strong. He's this, but listen, he almost has 100 fights, and he does the same thing every single time, right? He's that good at it, but he hasn't evolved, right? The only thing that he's really involved in was his cardio. He really trimmed down and straightened his cardio out for that Fabricio Werdum fight, but he's coming off 2 straight knockouts. Sergey Spivak, he wants to take this fight to the ground. He wants to take you down. He wants to fuck you up on the ground. He doesn't want to stand up with you. He wants to take you down. He might want to stand up with Alexei Oleinik here, possibly. He's the younger fighter. I know Yanni the Greek always picks young fighters, but I'm gonna go younger fighter as well. I'm gonna go Sergey Spivak. I mean, for fuck's sake, Alexei Oleinik is too old, too one-dimensional, and I just don't like this fight. I mean, it's cool. This could have been maybe opening the main card. They're both kind of names. You're pushing heavyweights. I get it. People do like Alexei Oleinik. I'm not one of them. Co-main event though, yeesh beesh. But now we're on the main event here. Let's go. Let me take a little drink of my special juice. We got Korean Zombie, minus 110, versus Dan Ige, minus 110. I like to call this the Brian Petrie special because this is without a doubt a fight I love. I love 2 super competitive guys in a super competitive division, evenly matched, and they're dead even on the odds. I'm actually surprised. I thought Ige would be the favorite a little bit. He's been a little more active. He's fought the better competition lately. Just knocked out Gavin Tucker, who's very high on my list. Had a war with Calvin Kattar. Beat Edson Barboza in a very close fight at 145. Edson Barboza only lost at 145. Then you got Korean Zombie getting dominated by Brian Ortega. Does not fight super actively. His striking, I think, isn't getting any better. I think it's staying the same, but he still has that one-touch knockout power. I think Ige's hungry. He just had a kid. He's tasted the high level. He's tasted the main event. He's tasted these guys who are right there, and he wants it. And I like that. I respect that with Ige. He's tough. He's got a good chin. He's durable. His boxing's good. His grappling is coming a long way. Chan Sung Jong, all are known as the Korean Zombie. Very good on the ground, right? People sleep on this guy. He's got twister submissions. He's lights on the ground, but he likes to stand up and bang. Hopefully, after the Ortega loss where he got beat pillar to post, hopefully he's like, you know what? This is mixed martial arts. I need to fucking take this fight to the ground. I need to mix it up. His best success against a guy like Dan Ige is taking him to the ground. Ige is going to slowly lull him into his fight at his pace, and pick him apart. Because I think Chan Sung Jung has good boxing, has good striking, but I think he's a little slower, and I think he's a little more powerful than Ige, but I just don't think he can keep up with Ige. So with that being said, this is my best bet, boys. My mortal lock, Dan Ige.
He's the best. I love it.
It's the best. This is my best bet, minus 110. You're getting even fucking money on a guy who I think should downright be the favorite. I think Ige is far superior right now than Korean Zombie. The Zombie can come out and surprise me though, right? I don't have a good track record picking against him, for him, whatever the case may be. He people sleep on him a little bit because he goes away for a little bit, then he comes back. That's kind of a good thing because of how much punishment he does take in fights, but I just think Ige is just in that sweet spot right now. His timing, his power looked great against Gavin Tucker. His confidence is high. He even looked good against Calvin Kattar, even though he dropped that fight. All right. That's it, baby. That is it for the podcast. Now we're back to the single shots. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is where you're going to be watching this at. Subscribe to MMA Takes Podcast on Apple, iTunes, Apple's podcast, whatever the fuck they're calling it. And make sure you rate and review. Also, I'm on Spotify. If you like what you saw, let's make some money this weekend. That's all I care about, okay? That's all I care about. If my pick made you money, I'm happy. I'm a happy man because they're going to make me money this weekend, right? Tomorrow night on Twitter, we're going to do a prop show. So MMA Takes Podcast on Twitter. I think it'll be on YouTube as well. I think I'll stream both platforms. But come hang out. Come chat. Give us your picks. Tell us what your winners are. I love to hear it. And let's motherfucking go.